Hello, hello, ladies and
everybody.
gentlemen, boys and girls.
Welcome, specifically undergrads. If you click this, you are an undergrad, and you are interested, or a spy, or you're watching this because you're interested in, I guess, what would you say?
Learning about what it takes to, well, what it's going to be like to go in physics undergrad, I guess.
Yeah, or an undergrad in general, you know.
I don't know if we want to be that.
Okay,
We
all
got to
right.
cater to our
We
physics
could.
audience.
All
you know?
right, fair
So we
enough.
got a good sizable portion of undergrad physicists in our
True.
audience. I looked at the analytics the other day.
Yeah.
We got some.
Okay. All right. Shout out to y'all then.
But yeah,
We're gonna-
guys,
we're
make
gonna do
sure
this.
to, of course, like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, check out our website, Eigenbros.com. Check out Eigenbros on Twitter, Eigenbros on Instagram, Eigenbros2 on TikTok. And then, once again, guys, thank you to the Patreon subscribers. We appreciate you guys for sticking with us and helping us out here by donating what you can.
Yes.
We do an extra 30-minute podcast at least every week.
Yep.
And if you guys want to be patrons, just check us out on Patreon and type in Eigenbros, and you can find us there.
Yeah. So let's
that's
get
it.
to it. Yeah.
All right.
So I mean,
Should I
it's,
go?
let me. If I could summarize it in one word,
Yeah.
it sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
So I guess people, they'll be coming out of, high school, all excited and whatnot, partying, going to
Yeah.
graduate parties and,
Well, maybe you saw one too many videos of Neil deGrasse Tyson, and you're like, I want to be a scientist. Yeah. Or I want to be a physicist.
Is that the relevant guy though nowadays? I feel like
No,
Neil's fallen off kind of. Who's the
Yeah.
relevant science people now?
Probably dudes like Sean Carroll and
Oh, he's
Brian
got the Mindscape
Green.
podcast.
yeah.
Brian Green, yep.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of Joe Rogan stuff,
True, when he has physicists on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then I guess even probably some of the science Twitter people, like Serafina, I saw, she just had her little,
Yo, other YouTube people too.
yeah.
Dodson, you have
Yeah, Dotson. We got, who else?
Mithina, you have
Mithina, I don't think makes that many videos lately, though.
she makes important videos.
Yeah,
I think that
but
are
she
pretty relevant.
does it kind of more sparsely.
True.
And you can see Dodson and Mithina, of course, back in the podcast when we did the guest podcasts.
Interviews, yeah. 3 Blue 1 Brown. I know he's not physics, but he does kind of go into some interesting stuff sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got some guys. I think Veritasium also is making he's either making a video now or he's kind of a OG,
Physics guy?
physics YouTuber.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, we just wanted to help you all out and to see some tips for you guys to, I guess, adjust to the transition from high school to undergraduate. It's kind of a big one.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you say,
navigating
Juan?
that. Yeah. It's navigating the whole undergraduate career.
Yeah.
Making sure that you're not being like shafted.
Yeah.
you
don't
know.
get fucked over.
Yeah, don't spend more time than you need to in your undergrad, even though it's fun as it seems.
Yeah.
Grad school can be much more rewarding.
Well, actually, I want to give a counter to that. I would say actually spend as much time as you can in undergraduate. Because to me, I think
Spit take what?
because I think actually undergraduate is the most fun you can possibly ever have in school. I think it's the last real hoorah where
It depends.
you get to be free enough and not so saddled with work that you won't be able to have fun. Because once you get into graduate school, it's pretty much almost all work.
Oh, I guess you're right.
So I say enjoy your time, and honestly, I think if you can do anything to drag that time out, do it. As long as you're not suffering the monetary consequences.
Right, exactly. This is one important thing that I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because if you wait too long, the university, first of all, I would say don't drag it out too long, because then if you get to like being 5th or 6th senior, or super duper senior,
Yeah.
I call it doing victory laps.
I was a hyper senior.
Yeah.
Hyper mega ultra senior.
I always said I'm doing a victory lap. That's how you would say.
No, I did many victories. I ran a whole nother race.
Don't do that. You don't want to get to that. But if you're a physicist, you will more than likely be doing one victory lap.
Yeah.
I think on average.
Yeah, I was pretty extreme case.
Yeah.
If you know who Bert Kreischer is, I did more school than him. Let's just say that.
But you also flopped majors a lot. You jumped around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very not straight and narrow. I just went where my heart took me.
Yeah. And we'll get
And then ultimately landed in physics.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But like if you come into high school with college credits, or if you take a long time, most schools will charge you extra after you reach a certain credit limit.
Yeah.
So be wary of that. Be careful of that, because by the time I got to like 5th year, super senior, like I looked at the bill and I was like, wow, that's a lot of money.
Right.
And then you add another year. If you add another year, it's even more. Like I was like, this is breaking my bank. Like I think by literally a year and a half worth of me being a super senior, like cost me as much as I paid initially the amount, because it doubled.
Damn.
Yeah, it went.
They're not joking around.
They want you out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So just be sure that you got all that locked in.
So I guess that's really the most critical thing, guys, to worry about, is make sure you can take care of yourself money-wise.
Yeah.
Of course, as a youngster, you don't really feel the money hits usually that much.
No.
Unless maybe you came from more of a hard background where you're used to maybe dealing with taking care of money. If you came from a middle class, somewhere around their background, the money hits may not be as real to you. But just know that you can't just rack up. You can rack up debt, but you don't want to. You want to try to really minimize the amount of debt you rack up, because you will have to pay that off eventually. And the thing is, with government, you can't just declare bankruptcy or something on college loans.
Yeah.
So you will have to pay them, and you will have to pay them immediately as soon as they're up.
They can garnish your wages. They can do a lot of stuff.
The government will get your money from that.
Yeah.
I promise you.
It's the most. Student loans are probably the most. The one kind of loan thing that you can't get away from.
Yeah. Maybe with Biden, he'll give you free school, but I wouldn't count on that.
Maybe he'll give you a $10,000 credit, but I wouldn't count on that either.
Yeah. So, guys, really got to take care of your money. Try to take care of your money. I know it's kind of vague. And
yeah. But, I mean, don't be afraid to take out loans. Like, I took out loans, like, at least maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a semester, just to kind of get me comfortably through the semester sometimes. And, like, I mean, you could do the math. Like, every semester, there's like, it piles up. But if you work in the summer, you can at least offset some of that, some of those costs. But yeah.
So anyway, Juan, I want to start off with the credits. So let's say you're coming into school, you're all bright, you're seeing all these people.
Yeah.
I remember my first time in college, it was great, just seeing all the people who were around my age, just like having fun, chilling out.
We're doing it. We're out here doing it.
Yeah, I'm like, damn. We're free. We're finally free.
Yeah.
18, I was coming in, I was just like, damn, I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Yeah.
And as soon as my parents left, I was fucking on it. I was just like, I'm having the time of my life.
Yeah.
But I guess one thing I neglected was to actually be carrying up on my class schedule. So.
Yeah, it's like school with, how regular school, that we joke about how like wild school was.
Yeah.
You were running a mile and having you eat chicken sandwiches before 10:30 in the morning, chocolate milk.
Right.
Weird,
so true.
Just weird shit. In college, you will be making your own schedule,
right.
And that's something that you've never probably ever had to do in your life up until you turn 18.
Right.
Like,
no one telling you to get up. No one telling you to go to class.
Yeah.
You can eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
You want McDonald's for breakfast? So be it.
Yeah. You want pizza for breakfast? You can have that.
If you don't even want breakfast.
Yeah. You can have that too. And and you make your own sleep schedule, everything. You're now in control of your life.
Yep.
And if you didn't really have good habits before, this is even going to be worse.
So this will be a true testament to your abilities to manage yourself, which is all part of the process. So don't feel too scared about that. Everybody will, most people will get through that. As long as you're making concerted effort, you should be fine. But I guess to start off with, what would you say about credits, man? How many credits do you think is a good amount to take during the semester? Do you think people, specifically for physics, should they start out with physics? What's a good little schedule do you think you would start off with in college? For physics major specifically.
I will say ease yourself into. Take like a good amount of easy classes and then maybe one physics class.
How many credits would you say total?
12. I think 12 is a minimum.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 12 is a minimum.
Real conservative. Right? That's a good number I would probably say too. I'd say 12 to 15.
15 is a little.
But 15 is pushing it especially for the first year.
It is.
But you know what? I've seen people do 21. I even did 21 my first year,
Jeez.
which was stupid because the thing is, only reason I did that was because I had no conception of what that even meant.
Right.
I was just like, oh, I'm going to take this many classes.
20
and just do
hours?
it.
I could go to school for a whole day. 20 hours?
I don't need lunch. So I did that,
Yeah.
and needless to say, I didn't go to any classes or pass any classes. So don't do that.
Yeah, you're like, I love how you think 20 hours is like the amount of time you'll be spending in the class.
You're like 20 hours a week? That's less than I've worked.
Yeah. No, the way the credit hours work is that at minimum that's for the school to charge you how much like you'll be in class.
Yeah. So I guess if you aren't familiar with what that means, let's say like this. Your courses are structured by credit hours.
Yeah.
And the more credit hours, that means usually the harder it's going to be. So, for example, introductory physics is usually like 3 credit hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty typical. And then you might have a lab class that's like 1 credit hour.
Mm-hmm.
So like a total of 4, you could say.
Yeah.
And like a language arts class might be 3 credit hours as well. And then you can have some easier classes that might be like a survey. Let's say like a freshman introductory class would be like 1 credit hour.
Yeah.
Because you only have to meet like once a week and there's no homework or something, or maybe seldom homework in the class.
Yeah.
So if you can total that up to like 12, that's pretty solid. 12, 13 maybe.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty good.
Yeah. That's a good number. But for each class, I get for instance, like a 3 credit hour class, like a 3 credit hour chemistry class, intro, your first year, that will expect to spend 10 hours outside.
You are going to be spending a lot more time than you might imagine.
Yeah.
Especially with a lab class too.
Yeah.
So because that means you also have to do lab reports as well.
Yeah.
And labs can be, for me, I think labs were like 3 hours,
3
at
hours.
least. Yeah.
And there were only 1 credit hour?
Yeah.
Truly.
So you're like, this is some bullshit. 1 credit hour for this 3-hour class? Are you joking?
Yeah, dude.
It's like the labs are always a trick in how much work
how much
they trick you. Like, oh, it's 1 credit hour, but it's like, it's more than you think.
Yeah, it's really is. Yeah, 3 hours of work for 1 credit hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't get duped. Go conservative first. We urge you guys, go conservative first, and then you can build your way up when you feel like you're more of a gangster.
Yeah, because once you get into the rhythm, this is what I did. I kind of like took 12 hours, and then 12 hours, but even then I took one or 2 science classes, and I did the rest kind of like easy intro, like English and stuff, like just kind of filler stuff, or part of the core classes that you need to take if you're an American student. By the way, we're only speaking on the American student university experience.
Yeah, to clarify that, because we don't know any other experience.
But and not all are created equal. But for the most part, you will have to take a core part of your university. You will take English, government, history, some kind of art thing.
Sure.
And you can expect that at least of your
language.
You can expect that at least a third, almost to a half of your college degree will be core stuff. Yeah. So you have to sprinkle that throughout, and I would say sprinkle that throughout. Like use that as your buffer classes, so that you're not taking all science classes a semester, because that will torture you.
What would you say about those guys, Juan, who do all the hard physics classes up front? They'll like sign up for like thermodynamics the first semester, and then when they're seniors, they'll be taking like intro chemistry and language arts. What would you say about that? Do you think it's a good policy or no?
I would say only do that if you came from a really good background and like you already like, let's say you pass your AP exam in physics and you know physics comfortably. You're probably good to do that, but even then, university physics is not the same as your high school physics. AP physics.
Right.
Not the same. So
it's a level up for sure.
Yeah. And then so you might skip out on some things. So I would say, take your physics university classes, like sprinkle them out. Don't front load them. Enjoy it. It'll help you enjoy your experience better too. Like So I guess another important thing. Did you do this? I don't know because I didn't do this, but you know how you do college applications if you want to go to grad school, you have to almost do all your prerequisite stuff. Like you have to do it almost a year before you apply, like your senior year.
Can you describe?
So, for instance, like for graduate schools, if you're already thinking this far ahead, maybe be aware that some schools need proof of you taking a class, like a quantum 1, quantum 2, thermodynamics or whatever, electricity and magnetism.
Are you talking about graduate school?
Like they want to see that you've taken these classes before you apply. They want to see your grades for those.
Yeah,
So you have to take them at least a year before you. Let's say you want to transition right into grad school.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you have to like kind of buffer them. Like you kind of have to like take your junior year have taken all those classes.
Yeah. So what's your question then?
Did you do that?
Well, yeah, but I already was done with school by the time I was applying for graduate school.
Oh, so okay.
I didn't need
so you
front load anything.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's one of the reasons why you would front load, because you're already thinking that far ahead, and you're like, I want to go to grad school, so I need to have these classes out of the way.
I see.
So that might be one thing, but I mean, I don't expect.
Yeah.
You're just starting out. I wouldn't expect you to be like, I'm going to go to grad school.
Yeah. One step at a time, Juan.
Yeah, please. One step at a time. No, I'm telling the undergrads, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Like, it might be that and that's what I want you to take your time. Like, don't.
And honestly, guys, I want to really stress this to you as well. I know you guys are a physics audience, so you're probably a little bit more ahead of the game. Physics is going to be harder than almost all the other majors in college. I can speak from experience because I've taken all the majors in college.
Yeah.
So I can tell you you're going to be doing a lot more work than probably a lot of other majors. So yeah, you're going to have a little less free time, but you're still going to be able to have fun. And I would say, guys, for me, I think it's very important to have fun in undergraduate. So I definitely stress for you to not be so caught up in your work where you're not going to ever have fun. I do think you need to have fun because that's part of the college experience. And actually, we talk about that a little bit if you guys want to go way back. We did a video called Can I Be a Physicist? That also might be useful for you if you're trying to figure out what to do in undergraduate as well. But yeah, guys, I guess to bring the next point, specifically for physicists, or if you want to apply it more broadly, I would say you guys should join a club as soon as you can. So let's say since you're already here, you're probably thinking about being a physics major anyway, but you should try to make some friends and get a sense of the environment. And a great way to do that is to join a club. So there's a Society of Physics students in a lot of schools, I would say maybe most schools in the U.S. that you can join up in. And you don't even have to be a physics major to join. Just go check it out and see if they have a space. It's SPS, Sigma Pi Sigma is the Greek letters that they go by. And if you guys join that, that's a great way to meet some new friends there and figure out what you want to do, maybe have some more experienced people there who will guide you along the path. And yeah, guys, I mean, SPS was a great thing for me when I was an undergraduate, and I had a lot of fun with it because we were able to go on trips and things, and it kind of shows you what really you're getting into in physics, and it gives you more than just the textbooks and the lectures in class and thing.
Or you can be cool like me and join political groups.
Yeah, join whatever clubs
and debate people.
We had a buddy of mine in SPS was a chemistry guy, and he just had some interest in physics, but he was probably one of the more active people there, and he was in chemistry. So, join any clubs, guys. If you
or start your own clubs.
Start your own clubs. That's a little bit harder because then you have to do some paperwork and stuff. And I don't know how lazy you guys are, but I was lazy as fuck as an undergraduate, so I didn't want to do any extra work if I didn't have to. So yeah, just if you wanna just have fun, meet some new people, join a club. Whatever your interest is. If you like swimming, join intramural swim club or something. Anything, guys.
Have some hobbies. It's not always going to be all about physics. You need to balance it out. You need to become a well-rounded person.
And it will keep your sanity because when we stress, you're going to be doing more than probably a lot of students. You're going to be doing physics quite a lot. It may not be as much as graduate school, but you're going to definitely be doing a significant amount
your average
than you might
peer.
be used to. Yeah.
All your peers will be out. There's one thing that you need to realize as a science student, especially in physics, like you're going to be spending way more time than your peers, and your peers are going to be having way more fun.
Right. They're going to be like, just save your homework for next, for next day, and you're like, I literally can't. Like, literally, I have to be doing my homework, or else it's never going to get finished.
Yeah, like you will have because math and science, you'll probably be taking a lot of math courses, which already have a ton of homework, simply by sheer volume.
Yeah, and you can't really bullshit a math test, right? You have to do the homework, or you're not going to pass.
Yeah,
that's the thing is like with language arts and things, you can bullshit persuasive essays. I've done it.
Yeah.
You know, I've done the essay
get a
the
prompt.
night before.
Yeah.
And I've gotten A's on it. It's
Yeah.
like, you can't bullshit math. If you don't know the math, you're not going to get the right answers. So
Yeah.
there's really no skirting around the studying part. Even if you
Yeah.
check everything, once the test hits, you're fucked. And
Yeah.
tests are how you pass a class. So
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah. So make sure to, what was the point of that one? Just to kind of warn them? Just to
yeah, I
belittle
kinda
them.
was lost
Hey, it's
listening
good.
to.
Your life is going to suck being a STEM student.
The point is, you're going to have to actually do studying.
Yeah.
So
Don't-
try to have a social life where you can.
True. Don't take it too personally, too, because I got in my feelings. I was like, man, this sucks being a physics major. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm
just,
doing all this work for nothing.
yeah, for what? Just understand the universe. Ooh, boo-hoo. You know what I mean? Like, wow, I get to know what different particles are called.
Right.
Okay. Nah, but it's like you need to. That's what I'm saying. Like, approach it in a healthy balance.
Mm-hmm.
Have a little fun sometimes. I would say this kind of goes back to scheduling. I did not take advantage of how I could shape my school like work. Does that make sense?
No.
Like-
Expand.
So Monday through Friday, I could have shaped it more to be like work. Like, I'm going to study, you know, I'm gonna have these study blocks and then blah blah blah.
Right.
I kind of like approached it very haphazardly at first, and just kind of being like, I'm gonna study whenever I feel like it.
Right. Because in high school, you could get away with that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you didn't have to really have that tight of a schedule.
Yeah.
You can do your homework whenever it came up.
Yeah.
The more in life, it seems this is the trend in life.
Mm-hmm.
The higher up you go in life, the more you're going to have to organize your schedule.
Yeah.
It's like there's just no ways around it.
Yeah.
And the better you get at organizing yourself and scheduling,
Yeah.
you will be miles ahead
Yeah.
of a lot of people.
In terms of your sanity too, because then you
Yeah.
can like take those literally days off. You can take like Saturday and Sunday off, just doing whatever you want to do.
Right. And that's possible in undergraduate.
It is possible,
especially in the
undergraduate.
beginning.
Yeah.
So
I had that. I had that too. Like, by the time I approached my senior year, I had a whole system locked down.
right.
And I would take. By that point, I had Saturdays, and I could take like Friday evening off, and then I could take some of Saturday off, and then I
Right.
could take all of Sunday besides the evening. Like,
Right.
I had a whole system in place. But this is about learning how to navigate that, getting some time for yourself, and then also seeing school more like work
Yes.
as opposed to
That is a great insight, actually, Juan. If you guys internalize this is your job,
yeah.
you will be much more successful than your starting off peers, because
Yeah.
when your peers are coming in, they see this as, oh, this is just high school part 2. Or this is like fun time now because I have all this freedom. That's how I looked at it when I first came to
same.
college.
Yeah.
So if you think of it as this is my 9 to 5 now, and you actually treat it as such, you're going to have such a more smoother time. And the pain is going to be much lessened for you if you have yourself really locked in on a schedule, because it is your job.
Yeah.
Right. This is what you are trying to do to get yourself a good career. You know, so if you treat it like one, your returns will be nice.
Yeah. And that extends into like the culture or the sort of, what would you say, the mindset going into your undergraduate experience. Like, I was taking classes where I had no, the teachers are there to teach you. It's their job to teach you. It's not like high school where some teachers might be like, I was forced to teach this class.
Yeah.
They're there because they are professionals in their particular field. And ask them questions, you know, learn from them. They're experts in their particular thing. Like, actually ask them questions and learn from them because you're paying them to learn.
Yeah.
And that's one thing you need to kind of internalize. It's something I didn't internalize.
Yeah.
I kind of brought the same mindset in from high school. Like, oh, the teachers
Most
are here. Huh?
Most people do, I think.
Yeah, the teachers are here. They don't really want to be here. They don't really want to be teaching.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, the teachers don't know shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, no, you're in college now. Like, these people do know their shit. So.
Yeah, exactly. And they're here for you. And you know, if you get asshole teachers every now and then, but even the assholes are sometimes you can crack under that cold hard exterior.
Know that the professors who are assholes want you to be. They're there because they want you to be better, and I think, and they, especially because they like to see you try, and that's something that I had to kind of like work myself out of, and it built a lot of confidence. And then and I know that once you get up to the upper division, like it's harder to like one time I think closer to my junior year, I had all physics classes. And it was kind of strange because I know the physics professors all talk to each other.
Yeah,
and they all talk about the students.
Yeah,
and they all
who sucks, who doesn't.
Yeah,
I mean, this is reality. You guys would too if you're professors, so you'll see.
Yeah, so and
they're human.
Yeah, and so you kind of don't want to embarrass yourself, but I'm gonna tell you, it's they like the students that try.
Yeah,
the ones that like even if you feel stupid as shit, you know,
which you are,
which you are. Humble yourself. You are. You
are very stupid compared to a professor. It's fine. We're stupid too. You know, me and Juan, we've been in graduate school. I'm not in graduate school anymore. Yeah. Juan's still in. I always feel stupid. Yeah, don't you, Juan? Don't you always feel stupid?
Yeah, all the time.
Being stupid is an advantage. Okay, you be stupid now to be smart later. Okay? Yeah, that's what I say. You will be stupid, so just accept it. You're not gonna be You're not gonna be. What is it like? Was the kid Sheldon Cooper?
Sure, yeah.
You know, what's the show? The Little Sheldon.
Yeah, Little Sheldon.
You're not going to be impressing people with your giant galaxy brain theories.
Yeah. No, truthfully.
I mean, just be dumb. You're fine.
You are there to learn and humble yourself. You're there to learn. I for the longest time, internalizing that was something that was like killing me because I'm like, man, everyone else gets it, but I don't get it. And
right. You're like, still bringing that the residual high school insecurity over.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I was up, and this was me in Cal 3 being like, I don't get it. I'm going to have to retake this class.
Right. Just getting so down on yourself like, I'm just dumber than everyone.
And it's like, man, this stuff should have been weeded out. And this was me, a 21-year-old. Being like,
it lasts for a while.
Yeah, it lasts for a while, yeah.
But you guys will realize that one of the things that helped me a lot as a kid during that age was don't compare. Yeah. Comparing yourself is what gets you in trouble, and everyone is feeling as dumb as you probably. Like the rate of imposter syndrome, especially in physics, is like way higher than you would think. I would say at least, I would make a conservative estimate and say 80% at least. And I might even wager to say over 90%.
Yeah, we've gone through like the theories of why we think that because you're being compared to the greats.
Yeah.
Einstein. Yeah. Dirac. You know, all these.
And then when you see yourself not measuring up to that level, then you feel like dog shit.
Yeah, and the professors do that too, so it is what it is. But, you're also going to realize that there are going to be people that have had more training than you or can afford tutors.
This is why you don't compare.
Yeah,
because there's things behind the scenes that you don't know about.
Yeah,
you might be thinking somebody's getting this, that somebody's just a genius at figuring these things out, but they could have been doing physics for 2 years before you. They could have been doing, their parents could have been physicists, which is a huge shift in thinking.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of factors. Don't compare yourself. Compare yourself only to your own self.
Yeah, because I was comparing myself to this dude in this class. And I was like, man, it's my second time taking this class, and this guy's killing it the first time. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I towards the end of the semester, I was like, yeah, dude, you were doing good, man. He's like, yeah, I've had a tutor for like 3 times a week. 3 times a week?
Yeah, you're like,
you had a private tutor? What? He's like, yeah. I've been tutored my whole like college experience. I was like, damn. And that's more of a luxury that he could afford.
Yep.
But with you, if you're just like a lowly graduate undergrad, go to you have a lot of resources available usually. The teacher, for one. Yep. TA, if your school has that kind of funding.
Yeah, some do.
Some do. Or you can go to...
or essay, I think they called it for my school. Supplemental assistant or something. Sure. Or SI, supplemental instruction, yeah.
True, yeah, SI. Oh, true, yeah. Damn, I forgot about SI.
Undergrads, you guys are spoiled on resources sometimes. You really, if you're going to like a 4-year nice institution... Yeah. Like, you guys have a lot more reasons. Even if you aren't going to a 4-year nice institution, even the junior colleges I went to, you guys have a lot more resources than you probably may know. I would just peruse online on your school website and just look through all the free shit you get. You get free software.
You do.
Like, I figured this stuff out way late, too. Like, we had subscriptions to, like, free AutoCAD, Mathematica. all kinds of shit, guys. Like, video editing software, Adobe Premiere, like, guys, you don't realize how much free stuff you get. We had cameras and stuff too. You can do so much shit in undergraduate, and it's so fun because people love to give you free shit then. You just need to know where to look.
Yeah, seriously. And like, unfortunately, they don't come with free Chegg subscriptions.
But you can spend the money on Chegg that you save on the Adobe Premiere subscription.
Yeah. No, but what you want to do is make sure that you get what was I going to say? Damn, I lost it. It evaporated.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I just want to say,
I'll come back to it, but
yeah, if you can think about it. But I would say in the comments, guys, we got also, of course, a graduate audience, and then people also who work. For the seasoned veterans, guys, leave some good hacking tips for undergraduates.
Okay.
Me and Juan, especially me, I love school hacking. Like, for me, the only way school is useful is to hack school. And that's just basically tricks and tips that you may not realize during the undergraduate that can get you either free stuff or some kind of advantage that you may not really know about. But hacking school, that's the way to go. There's so many things.
Yeah, one hack if you're a poor lowly student is get a friend who bought a meal plan.
Oh.
And they usually have swipes. Meal swipes. And
damn,
at the end of
that broke where you didn't have your own meal plan, bro?
No. Anyway, your buddy, make a friend who's duped enough to like living on campus the first semester.
They didn't give you a meal plan in your freaking scholarship?
No.
Oh my god,
dude, come on,
absurd,
man! It's a commuter school, dude.
That's just absurd, though.
I declined it. I didn't want to pay more money for a meal plan. I was like,
but they would make you pay it. I thought they would have taken care of that.
No.
Oh, then why not?
No, they make you choose. You can buy a meal plan or not. You didn't have the choice?
I did. I
but you wanted the meal plan.
It.
Oh, gotcha. Well, the meal plan is honestly too expensive. You save more money. Yeah. You save more money, but you get meal swipes. You go to the school cafe.
It's a little bit of a racket too, because most people don't get 3 meals a day.
Yeah, I would say if you can afford it, go for it. Like, dorm the first semester on campus, do the meal plan. You make more friends that way. You make more connections. It's nice. And then the second year, plan to live off campus and cook your own meals.
Get your food right for sure.
Yeah, because I would have opened up my social network more if I had done that, but I was too broke. But anyway, if you do make a friend that does have meal plans, at the end of the semester, they will have leftover meal plans because college student doesn't eat 3 times a day.
Yeah, no. You can, but it's kind of difficult sometimes, especially to go to a location specifically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just it can be out of your way.
Yeah. So have them meal swipe you. Have them meal swipe you in.
It's also nice if there's like multiple locations that on campus that let you use the same meal card.
Yeah, true.
Then it gets a little bit
you guys
easier,
had different meal cards for different places?
Sometimes people do, because they would have, like, in my school, my first college was Howard University. Yeah. It was in the same location, but they would have the punch out. And then they would have the regular cafeteria, the CAF. And the cafeteria was the one with the meal plan, but the punch out would be like one that was like kind of extra because it had like Chick-fil-A and all the nice, really good stuff.
I see.
So sometimes you want to go to the punch out, but then you're going to have to pay a little extra, or you go to the, regular meal plan place. Yeah.
So, but that's a school hack. A school hack is also sleeping in your car. No, I'm just kidding.
That sounds like a bad hack.
No, I know. Another hack is, another tip is, make sure you have during finals week, have a blanket and pillows in your car.
Oh,
in case you need to do all-nighters.
Yeah.
And that will happen, especially in undergrad, if you're taking a bunch of classes, because they love doing this shit, but they love... I hate that all schools have agreed to put tests on the same week.
Yeah. They do that, huh?
It's
all
like,
the time.
why? It's just like, do you want us to succeed or not? Like, this is torture. Yeah. And there's going to be numerous times in the semester where you're going to need to do that.
Yeah.
Because you will probably be in the library asking. Here's what I now remembered. Like the sort of other support system you have is the school library will have their own sort of what is it called? Teaching like TAs for the subject, or teaching assistants for the subject.
For the library tutors.
Yeah.
They do sometimes.
Yeah.
My libraries and some other schools didn't have it.
Okay.
But
yeah, some institutions will have library tutors that have that vary by discipline, and yeah, you can go there, and if you're in physics, you can ask the math people there questions, and you can ask the physics people there, and vice versa, like math stuff. Even some chemistry students could help. Maybe.
Right.
Sometimes.
And if you don't even know what your school has, just go talk to some of the grad students. Grad students would love to just get a break, an excuse to not do some work for a second.
Yeah.
So go to one of the graduate school students' office, because the people who are getting paid to do the tutoring services are graduate students.
Probably more than likely,
let's be real. No one else is doing that except for graduate students. They're just forced to, do some extra tutoring. So go to the graduate students and say, hey, like, what other tutoring options do I have? And they'll let you know what's around. Yeah. Because they're the ones that are going to be doing it. So. Yeah.
Or you can go to, if your department is big enough, they will have their own math lab or their own physics lab, or their own, meaning like they have their own library or room associated with like just teaching.
The math department had that for one of my schools.
Me too. Like the math department had the math people in the basement. Funny enough,
it's fitting.
It's fitting. Yeah.
They don't need light.
Sad. It's sad but true. Like I don't know why they did that to them. They always like stick all the math majors in the basement, but they did.
Their skin burns when they come outside. Ah.
Yeah, and I'm like, when was the last time you saw sunlight, dude?
They're like, sunlight?
Yeah. But I mean, whatever. I'd be too depressed. But like anyway, take advantage of that. Hang out with people that your peers, like that are in the same class. Like make time to make study blocks, make friends, and like work together when possible. Obviously, like learn this stuff on your own. Like make sure to carve out time to study the material yourself. But you do want to save time if you're taking a lot of classes. And but if you're stuck, reach out to your peers. Reach out to them. Like say, hey, how did you do this?
I'm sure you'll be studying a lot with your peers.
Yeah.
That's one of the great things about physics is you guys can all work on the same kind of problems and attack from multiple angles. It's really fun.
It is,
especially when you get a nice little setup with like a whiteboard or a blackboard or something, and you all can jump in on the problem. That's one of the coolest things about physics for me, because like in a
most
language
people don't know
arts,
it's collaborative.
Yeah, because like in language arts or something, you don't do that. Because you can't all attack one problem. You just are all writing your own essays.
Yeah, and that's
it's very insular.
Yeah, and that's more realistic to like, honestly, how real, at least in industry, how problems are solved. Like
you mean with the like blackboard collaboration, everybody.
Yeah. You work with a team to solve one problem usually.
Yeah,
and it should open up like that kind of form of or style of thinking.
Right, but that's also why it's harder in some sense too, because they make the problems intentionally because they know that a bunch of you guys are probably going to be attacking the problems at one time.
Yeah, exactly.
So but that's the beauty of it. It's a very collaborative environment. Physics is, surprisingly. You might think of it as very introverted activity, but you really it's really good when you're working with a lot of people.
Yeah, you see, there's a myth of the physicist lone wolf. That's one thing that I also want you to wipe out of your head.
Yeah, you ain't Einstein, you ain't Dirac, so just cut it out, please.
And even then, those guys literally collaborated with they discussed ad nauseum like a lot of these things. I mean, look at the Solvay conference. Look at things like them hashing out quantum mechanics, like Schrodinger's famous Schrodinger's cat sort of scenario. It's him arguing with someone how ridiculous quantum mechanics is, and it's all these things are played out through discussion and dialogue and like collaborative just efforts. So like
right.
Take that myth of the physicist lone wolf out of your head. You're not going to be able to solve anything in a vacuum.
Right.
Like logic can help you and reason can help you, but a lot of times there are little tricks that someone came up with, or maybe you yourself have developed tricks. But it takes a lot of ingenuity and cleverness that, frankly, a lot of us do not have time as undergrads to like figure this stuff out. Right, because you and I have been in that same scenario, right?
Sure, and then even some people see different problems in different lights, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody might be more of a mathematical physicist, whereas someone else might be more of a conceptual physicist. And when you guys combine together, you hit many different angles, and then you learn new things that you might not have thought about.
Yeah.
That someone else showed you.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. So it's very, it's a very good collaborative environment.
Yeah.
Physics is.
Or some people might, like for me, I kind of like later on started shifting more to computational stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes like the students would come to me, my peers would come to me and be like, hey, like, can you put this in your program to see if it's right? I'm like, okay. And then I put it in and be like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's things like that, specializing, like you get a lot of like different ways of attacking something and like solving a problem. So,
right.
Yeah.
So I guess the next one I was thinking about is, what would you say are some of the hardest classes you've had to take physics-wise while in undergraduate?
All the ones I had to retake.
And which ones were those?
Quantum.
Quantum was one of them. Was that the hardest one, you'd say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about math-wise?
Quantum and calculus.
Quantum and calculus.
Yeah.
So what in particular made those classes so much harder than the rest, do you think?
Well, with calculus, it was such a mind shift.
Yeah, because that was one of your first math classes you took going in undergraduate, right?
Well, no, I had taken I had a really bad math background, but not in the sense that like it's reflected on the teachers. It was more like the particular school district I came from did not prioritize math, and my whole school system in the state that I was in, not in a mental state. I'm saying like the physical government state.
Yeah.
Texas, I think, is number 50.
I thought Georgia was number 50.
No, dude, I think Texas is 50.
Okay.
Woo, we win. We win at something.
Okay, maybe we were 49.
Yeah, the worst. And it reflected. I literally saw that whenever I got to higher institution sort of learning. With the math, I placed into college algebra or pre-algebra, I think. And then I got into college algebra. Then I had to do pre-calc.
Okay, yeah.
And then I finally got to calculus.
But this is all in undergraduate?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so you really went the whole gamut.
If this isn't and I tell people in my even now when I'm teaching like a lot of undergrads, I'm like, look, this stuff ain't easy. I understand. Right. I came from sucky like math background, but
my math background was pretty bad too. But you know where I got an advantage, I guess.
What's up?
I failed all my classes in high school, so that I retook my math classes at least 2 or 3 times already, to where I didn't have to retake them in undergraduate. I tested right into calculus.
Gotcha.
Because I was so fresh on my math.
Yeah.
From failing it 2 to 3 times.
Gotcha.
In high school.
Yeah, and failing for me means that I didn't, at least for me, like I'm like, it's not that I can't understand the material. It's a lot of the time that I'm at capacity, and I recognize that for me, I also go at a slower pace. Like I'm a slow learner, but it's because I like to take time and digest information.
I think me and you are very similar in that respect.
Yeah. Because I know people that can just run with it, and while I'm sitting back asking myself questions.
Yeah. You're stuck on
really internalizing
problem 1 while they're on problem 10.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, what is this?
Bro, and then I'm over here studying a whole subfield of math.
Right.
Just to understand what this one thing means.
Right.
Look, if you're this kind of person, please don't do that. Like you have a deeper understanding, but you're kind of wasting your time.
Yeah, you're going to have to figure out how to just move on in some sense.
It's kind of hard. It's hard for me to it took a long time for me to accept that it was not effective. Yeah. To meet the schedule that the courses are on. Right. You know? So it's like you have to concede, and it's a little bit tough, especially if you're kind of a learner like us.
Yeah. Like, you're gonna have to lack some knowledge and have some holes in your logic. Unfortunately, sometimes to be able to get through what you're doing. Yeah.
And that's really what it is. Like, and I truly believe that, at least for my frame of thinking, a lot of the learning comes outside of the classroom, on your own time. So the stuff that the professor wants you to know, be sure you know that. Yeah. Like, know how to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just really, really make it click in your head. And you might not know all the like ins and outs. And if you start going down more than 2 Wikipedia pages, stop yourself. You know what I mean?
Two Wikipedia page limit, huh?
No, there really has to be a cutoff. Like, you have to give yourself a cutoff. If you start studying a whole subfield to answer this one question, you've gone too far. Like, I'm just gonna say, don't do it.
You end up on abstract algebra while you're doing classical mechanics.
Exactly. You start learning about a whole nother subject like Lie groups and stuff. Right. And you're like, maybe tell yourself.
Maybe I went too deep.
Yeah, please, if you get to that point, tell yourself, I will come to learn this one day, but right now is not the time.
Right.
I just need to know how to solve a second-order differential equation, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Juan, let me ask you this about the quantum, man. You said so you had a tough time with quantum. What was it so bad with the quantum in particular?
The frame shift. The shift
to the whole domain of quantum mechanics. Yeah, so could you maybe extrapolate? Yeah, I would say the same exact thing. Luckily for me in quantum, everybody else was doing so fucking bad that my bad shittiness was in par with the rest of the class. So we just basically got free A's handed out.
Oh, really?
And I mean, it was fine.
Yeah, we all did bad, but we had a couple good students that like the professor could not deny.
So there you go. When you get those assholes in class,
I wouldn't say they're assholes.
The tryhards that do too well and fuck everybody over.
No, this is one of the guys that had tutoring. So
God damn it.
They just excelled, and I was like, "There's no way." And I'm already like not good at tests because like the kind of person that I am, like in terms of learning something, I want to know it deeply.
Yeah.
Disaster, by the way, for a test. So I had to retake the class because I didn't feel good about my grade. C's get degrees, but I mean, truthfully, for me, I'm just like, I have to feel like I know this stuff.
Because you feel like you need quantum as a physicist, especially in your route. Because, you know, we're condensed matter physicists, and quantum mechanics is literally all of condensed matter, pretty much modern day. So, I get that. You felt like you needed the knowledge to be solid. Yeah.
And, I mean, I felt like I knew this stuff, but it was a lot of the time, like, it was so conceptually, we were moving so fast through the subject, and I was like, this can't be quantum mechanics. And sure enough, it wasn't. Like, by the time I didn't really get a good grasp of quantum mechanics till like my grad school quantum, and even then it was like, oh, okay, I finally kind of understand how this works.
So what would you say is the biggest shift that you had to make in order to be successful in quantum?
I would say accepting that I just have to, it's the shut up and calculate approach.
That's a very critical one, guys. You got to really realize for quantum mechanics in particular. This is when you start to really realize intuition ain't gonna cut it anymore. This is almost something that's almost unique to physics, I would say. Because it's so high level that you can usually get away with intuition. You might not even know what this means until you actually get into physics. But we can always kind of know, like, if I imagine right now what it looks like for water to hit the ground, or for a water balloon to hit the ground, you can kind of visualize the water splashing out. And you can kind of, and if you know physics like classical mechanics, you can probably maybe even think of equations that might fit with that. You have things of projectile motion and gravity and all these things going in your head. With quantum mechanics, you almost can't really even visualize what's going on sometimes. That's what we mean with intuition. Like, you can intuitively understand things in the classical realm a lot of times, but with quantum mechanics, it's a whole new world that you just have no experience with. So you don't know what the fuck is happening. You don't know why particles are tunneling through barriers. You can't really visualize what a wave function is. You can kind of, but it's like all these things start to get really weird and screwed up in your mind to now you have to build a quantum intuition, which is based on math. Because you really can't build an intuition based on experience, because there's no experience for that with humans.
Exactly.
And the same kind of thing happens as well with like relativity. Although relativity is a little bit more closer to home since it's macro scale objects, a little bit easier, but there's regimes in physics where you have to start relying on intuition less.
Yes.
And they get more abstract and more mathematical only. Exactly. So you have to just shut up and calculate literally.
Yeah. And then if you're like me, where the language of math, like, it shifts. Like, you've been doing algebra your whole life, but then you get to calculus, which is the language of physics in a lot of ways, that you have to occupy. It occupies a new space in your brain where you have to get comfortable using that language to say certain things. And it took I wasn't comfortable with calculus until maybe calculus 3.
That's when you start to feel real like, okay, I got this.
Yeah. Like, I can kind of understand what's going on. I understand, like, because I guess that's when you really start learning the applications.
Yeah. Right? You start to see where I can actually put this to use. in a meaningful way.
You see a hint of that in Calculus 1 where they talk about like optimization stuff. But
sure.
But still, Calculus 3 probably takes the cake on
application.
Yeah. As a physicist, that's very important. But that it's a language. You have to remember that math is a language, and you conceptualize it as like you're a baby. You are going to make mistakes. You're not going to learn it well. You're not as fluent as your professors who've been speaking this language for 20 years. Probably.
And a lot of professors will make you feel bad about it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
When they start talking about this as kindergarten level, just say fuck you in your mind and move on. Just realize they're out of touch.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Professors are going to forget how easy this or how hard this stuff is because they've been doing it for so long. It feels like second nature for them. Yeah. They've built the intuitions now to know what to do.
Yeah.
You have not, and it's a lot of stuff to remember. You literally are a baby now.
Yeah.
When you're in physics, you literally become a baby again.
Yeah.
Like you're learning how to walk.
Exactly. Yeah.
Actually, you're not even learning to walk. You're learning to crawl.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll walk in the future, but it's that level of new shit. And nothing in life really has prepared you for this. You know, if you could have played music, you could have done sports. There's nothing in life that will even come close to really fully showing you what it means to learn quantum mechanics.
Yeah.
Or to think in terms of relativity. It just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're like a math person, then you're fine. But
then if you can really like if you've been introduced and you.
Yeah, if you've been introduced to math and such in some way, then maybe you have some experience. But if not, anything else, there really is no analog.
Yeah, and especially, and this is not to say like quantum mechanics is not hard because of like you have to basically use two types of math. You have to use linear algebra and calculus because you can switch. Sometimes you need to switch between the two. To solve certain problems, as you know. But that's a mind shift sometimes that I was like, why the fuck are we talking about linear algebra? I thought we were just doing calculus.
Right.
And it's like, no, you're doing linear
algebra. You
almost
are resistant to it. You're like, no, I don't want to be adding new math in here.
I just learned this shit. Now there's stuff called brackets. What the hell? Yeah, and that's a huge mind shift. Actually, a book that I really recommend for quantum that saved my ass in terms of internalizing quantum mechanics was Zitelli.
That's the same one for me, man.
Dude, Zitelli
it shows you how to do the math.
Yeah,
a lot
shows
of people,
you how to do quantum mechanics.
Yeah, a lot of people like Griffiths will be talking about quantum. I'm like, bro, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. It's like so useless. Like you can't talk about quantum mechanics. Just don't talk about it. Just
show
do
me
the
how to
math.
do quantum mechanics.
Like I was like, I don't know where to even start with this.
It's like Zitelli is an instruction manual, while Griffiths is like a novel about quantum mechanics.
It's nice if you already know what you're doing. Like with Griffiths. Yeah. Was Zitelli, if you're clueless as fuck, like I was in quantum.
Yeah, same.
And you just need a recipe book, use that because you have no experience for quantum mechanics really.
I would say more books need to be like Zitelli.
Yeah.
Like most undergraduate textbooks need to be more like Zitelli in terms of showing this is how you can become a quantum mechanic. This is how you can do quantum mechanics.
Although the Griffiths E&M was great too, which was more conceptual combined with math. But like Griffiths E&M was to me my favorite E&M. It might still be my favorite E&M book because it's just so like it's written in such a
that's true. It's written
such
really
an understandable way. And it's so simple and just so nice and beautiful. It's simple and sweet.
Yeah.
But just there's certain books that are always going to be better. Of course, you guys can check out a website if you don't know called Stack Exchange. Just type in Stack Exchange in Google and then type in whatever you want, whatever question you want. Basically, you're going to get a whole bunch of responses from professionals in high-level fields like mathematics, physics, all these things. And they'll tell you whatever you need. And there's Stack Exchanges for like what's the best books for X, Y, Z. If you want to learn, let's say, Stack Exchange for complex analysis, then people will give you the best books for complex analysis.
Yeah. I think my main takeaway is like in undergrad, and I tell this to people, some people that I know people that are taking like math classes and physics classes. They're always like, how do I don't understand this. I don't get what I'm doing. And it's like, I'm sorry to say, but you're not going to get what you're doing for a very long time. Like
you just have to do.
You just have to do it. You have to know what to do. You have to, basically you're showing your professor that you know how to do this. And then maybe in your own leisure time, read those books that you loved reading about physics, like what is it called? I don't know, like the theoretical minimum, brief history of time, like
Into the Universe.
you can fill in the holes with all that stuff later.
Yeah.
Like it's comparative to in school. They just want you to know how to do something. Like it's like you're becoming a technician almost. Like you're learning how to do something, not how this little thing works. Essentially, sometimes you'll be treated to that. If your physics professor loves the actual physics of it, they will probably incorporate problems that make you really reflect on the physics.
Yeah. You'll get doses of why every now and then.
Yeah, true. You'll get some professors that are pretty good at that, or finding a balance. But that's more of a luxury than a
necessity. Or a requirement.
Or like for most physics professors.
Yeah. You're just learning how to do. You guys are gonna have to if you want a real secret to physics, it's just do as many problems as you can.
Yeah.
If you can just do as many problems as you can, eventually you'll get it.
Yeah.
That's the only way to really know physics.
And that's what they expect you to do in grad school, by the way. All the metrics that they try to hammer out is, do you know how to do physics?
Yes.
You might not even need to know why. Like they just want to see that you know how to do physics.
Yes.
So,
there it is.
Unfortunately, it's not like everyone asks what physics, not why physics. So,
or how physics.
Or how is physics doing? It's not doing too hot right now, but it's be sure. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if we missed anything.
What would you say is one of the biggest keys to success for
overall undergrad?
Yeah, for undergraduate physics, if you can relate it to physics specifically.
I mean, I kind of that. I guess what we were just saying.
Just
embracing that, and especially for me, I'm a learner who's like, I like to internalize things and understand things like deeply. If you're like me, me and Terence, if you're like more logician kind of style thinking, like it has to make sense to you, you're going to have to talk to more people.
Yeah.
You're going to have to reach out to more people to make sense of it. Your professors, your TAs, your SIs, the people in the math lab. I had to go a lot. I went more to the math lab than I did to the physics lab TAs. And that's because I think the physics TAs were almost as confused as I am. At least, but you know,
probably true.
but the math lab people, I mean, especially for quantum mechanics and some other stuff, like a lot of the time the math will tell you the physics. You know what I mean?
And the mathematicians know how to do the math. They know linear algebra and all that stuff anyway, so they just need to see what it is.
Yeah. So, but you ascribe meaning to the math, so like they'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they'll know how to
solve it.
Yeah. They'll be like,
what this is, I don't know what the fuck, but
yeah. I mean, play to your strengths. Like, for me, my weakness was math, so I spent a lot more time in the math lab. So, but don't be afraid to do that, and humble yourself, I think, is another thing. Be confident in asking questions. To advocate for yourself in that way. If you don't get something, it's hard. It's hard to undo the high school freaking like thing,
but that's the process of college. It's one of the biggest parts of college, I think, is just undoing those high school bad habits and those high school mentality, right?
Yeah.
You're blossoming into a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah.
I guess for me, to kind of wrap things up, my final tips would be, I like to give more pragmatic tips. Just because
you're saying I wasn't pragmatic, bro?
Well, yours were more like
no, it's all good. We'll stop the show. No,
those were good though. Like that's a pragmatic tip.
True.
But I like to almost give all pragmatic tips if I can, because the abstract and like kind of overall things I kind of get, but
good cop, bad cop. Let's just say that.
Yeah, there you go. So for me, I would say like you guys should also try to save money when you can.
Oh, true.
So like, for instance, physicists need books, right? Let's just say there are certain websites like Library Genesis. Not saying you should go on there, but I'm saying there are
I've heard
websites.
I've heard of this LibGen website. Yeah, I've heard of that.
You have?
I have.
Okay.
Also some Sci-Hub website.
Yeah, I've heard of that too.
Yeah.
I won't say I've ever used it. I don't know if I would condone using it, but I'm saying there's websites out there that will allow you to have free books and papers.
Yeah.
You know,
but it's bad.
The legality, I'm not sure, but
it's illegal to do stuff like that, Terrence.
Yeah, I know. We shouldn't promote that.
No, I'm not even promoting it. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, don't do that for sure. But you know, it is a hard knock life for undergrads. So, you know, I'm just letting it known as a purveyor of information. You know, that's all.
Yeah, we've heard of it.
Yeah. And anything else, Juan?
Go watch Can I Be a Physicist? Because that's a good follow-up, because I will tell you.
Go watch Rick and Morty.
No, please don't do that. Don't become a meme. You know, actually, here's another thing. Be self-aware, please. Like, be a little bit self-aware. If you've ever find yourself unhappy in your undergraduate experience, take a look outside. Step outside of yourself a little bit. Be like, I like what I'm doing, but maybe I should balance myself more out a little bit. Maybe I should enjoy life a little bit more.
Yes, because you know what? One thing I always wanted to bring to my SPS colleagues, my guys in SPS, I never really got to, though. I wanted to get some more love in there. We want some love in there. And this is, guys, I don't know if I said this, maybe on Patreon, but one idea I've had is you guys should link up with the nursing school. Nursing school or dental hygienist school, link up with the physicists and the engineers. Go find love, guys. Life is too short not to have love and just be studying differential equations all your life. You know, you guys got to get love, okay? Yeah.
Soften up. You'll be physics can be very difficult.
Yeah.
And
stage a social gathering. I want to see a gathering of the nursing school, the dental hygienist school. The physicists and the engineers all have a big hoorah every year. Yeah. You guys should try that.
This will make you
you would have a better life.
This will make you more well-rounded, and it'll help you enjoy life.
You deserve it.
And even if you have like aspirations to go to grad school, managing a work-life balance is important. Even if you maybe you don't want a relationship, maybe you want to fill your days with like things that you like to do. If you like playing video games, like I had a lot of, even for me, I loved playing video games in my early 20s. And I still do occasionally, but like, I tried to make sure to like start taking care of my health, cause I'm like, I'm getting older. I'm sitting down all day. That's not good for your heart, and that's not good for your back or anything.
This is getting a little bit more into old guy territory, but
no, but it's like you want to instill good habits while you can, and for all that information, you can go to that episode. What is it called? Can I Be a Physicist?
The old one, the really old. Yeah, Can I Be a Physicist? I think it was probably like episode 40 or somewhere around there.
Yeah, go back to see that, and I think that'll lay out all like the things that if you have any questions or concerns on navigating that whole thing. So I think that's it.
Yeah. Anything else, Juan?
No.
Before we wrap up,
make friends, make lots of friends. Connections are really important, probably more than merit. So
what?
Merit.
100%. You guys will find that out in life real quick. This ain't a meritocracy. This is a who the fuck you know autocracy.
Yeah.
So make friends. I guarantee you that will serve you much better than the merit that you're going to have.
Yeah. If you don't know if you're applying to jobs and you don't know anybody, sorry to say.
I've known some real fucking smart guys, rock star physicists who they were supremely introverted, didn't know people, and they ain't got jobs. So that'll be that's just a thing to tell you.
That's wisdom right here. This is you're getting it here first, folks. So just remember, make friends, talk to people, enjoy your undergrad experience, network, go to conferences, go to even the school ones, do summer research, we go through that. That's what I'm saying. Follow up on the next episode with the Can I Be a Physicist?
Yeah, we go into all that.
That'll detail all that stuff, but anyway, I think that's it.
Perfect.
Yeah,
all
any
right,
comments?
guys.
Wait, hold on. Comments.
Yeah, so comments, I would say just leave if you're a seasoned guy or gal. Make sure you guys go ahead and tell the undergrads what some more hacks and tips you can follow up on.
Anything we missed, we'll pin them.
Yeah.
We'll pin all the ones that are
good.
I
don't know if we can pin multiple. I think you only do one on YouTube.
Are you going to do one?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll pin the best. We'll pin the best one.
Yeah.
And then if not, you can comment below that if you feel like you can add something to that. So.
And then undergrads, you comment, guys, what questions you have, and we'll get to you. We'll answer them because I check comments, and we'll respond back.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. And I guess, guys, to close it out, go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Check out the website, Eigenbros.com, Eigenbros on TikTok. Eigenbros on Twitter, Eigenbros on Instagram, and Eigenbros 2 on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then Patreons, we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
If you want to sign up for a Patreon, check us out at patreon.com, Eigenbros. And we do a 30-minute podcast every week. And that is it.
We'll see you later.
See you guys.
Peace.